just wanted to talk about one of my all-time favorite old Hollywood sex icons. Labeled better than Marilyn with an IQ of 163, bored housewife to Playboy centerfold, hopeless romantic to satanic worship, she has a wild, wild reputation that just needs the pink ribbon taken off and let loose. And when I say pink, she loved pink. Born Vera Jayne Palmer in 1933, she was met with tragedy at a very early age. Having lost her dad due to a heart attack at the age of 3, she recalls all of her memories with him to being like the happiest. This, to me, like cements the foundation of her future almost. Jayne's mother, also named Vera, we're gonna call Jayne Jayne and Jayne's mom Vera because they both have the same name. Okay. Jayne's mom Vera, she decided after he died to relocate down to Texas, and she ended up marrying like a middle-aged man, and she just focused on teaching. That's what she was. She was a teacher, so she focused on teaching. But since Vera was a teacher, she was known to be strict and expected a lot from Jayne. In high school, Jayne ended up learning multiple different languages. She was in all these dance classes, and then she was even known to sit in her driveway and play violin for her neighbors to appease her mother. Everyone pretty much says she was like a natural born star. She was meant to be a star. In 1950, at the age of 17, while still in high school, she married her first husband, 20-year-old Paul Mansfield. Later that same year, Jayne gave birth to her first daughter. And instead of shifting gears and becoming like Susie Homemaker, she decided to attend Southern Methodist University and the University of Texas in Austin. I don't know why my brain couldn't get those fucking things out. Okay. That's where she went, in Austin, Texas. When Paul came back from the Korean War in 1953, Jayne convinced them they should move to Hollywood and pursue her acting career. So, in 1954, they moved to Hollywood. 1955, they're divorced. Because in that 1 year, Jayne literally just shot to the top. She made her big film debut, turned heads at auditions with her figure and charisma. She also became known for popping out, you know what I mean, of dresses for media attention. Playboy made her a centerfold, and Warner Brothers gave her a 6-year contract by the end of 1955. In that 1 year. Insane. Paul didn't like it. He didn't like it. I don't blame him, but he didn't like it. He wanted his wife back, but she just wanted all of the men's eyes on her. One time she created a public stunt where she like fell into the pool and like her top floated off. And then she got all the reporters to take pictures of her. That's what I'm sure he was not pleased about. But it got her a lot of attention and it shot her to the top. So that's always fun, you know? If you've got the boobies to do it, shoot. Not really, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm just saying. It sounds fun, but would I do it? No, I wouldn't. She didn't just want attention, she devoured it. It wasn't enough to be seen for her. Jayne needed to be unforgettable. Even if it meant becoming a fantasy no real woman could live up to. After launching to stardom, Jayne won a Golden Globe for Promising Newcomer, became a fashion and sex symbol, being compared to Marilyn Monroe, and of course, found love in Mariska Hargitay. They were a tabloid sensation. Underneath it all though, jealousy, control, and a lot of emotional turbulence. Their relationship was toxic, and it was hidden inside the Pink Palace. Yep, you heard that right, Pink Palace. She had a pink car, pink bathtub, pink carpet, a living pink dollhouse. She would even give reporters tours of her mansion. Well, yeah, and she also had a mini zoo there, so it kind of to me, it replicates like a little mini Playboy mansion just in pink, and it's like a lot smaller. It's like the exact same setup with the little mini zoo and all pink. But was this enough for her? No, because behind the pink satin walls of her palace, Jayne was actually building an empire of illusion. One pink tinted lie at a time. She was constantly working nightclubs, TV appearances, product endorsements, but not all of it was necessarily A-list offers. Playboy came back for sloppy seconds. I'm kidding. Well, kinda. Because she had already posed for the magazine, but this time she gave the camera everything. A party was going on at Hef's Pussycat Penthouse. It was an event staged for the movie Promises, or Promise, or Promises, something. It's something like that. It's actually one of Hollywood's first full frontal nudity movies. So, long story short, they're at the Pussycat Penthouse in Illinois. So, okay, they're in the penthouse, put a bathtub in the center of the room, and then Jayne was in the bathtub covered in bubbles and everything, and all these men were standing around her, watching her, like, you know, and they were all taking pictures and everything, da-da-da-da-da. Well, Playboy ran those pictures with no apology. And the state of Illinois freaked the fuck out. Hefner was charged with obscenity, arrested, went to trial, and was acquitted by a hung jury. Sorry. This was one of the first times that Playboy was actually, like, threatened legally. But it gave them this new, like, rebellious image that skyrocketed their sales. Jayne, though? Not so much. She was banned from several cities, lost endorsements, and had her Good Housekeeping name taken from her. She liked to create publicity stunts, but this one came with real consequences this time. Paul Mansfield tried to get custody of their daughter over it. Mickey started resenting the grind and tidal wave of growing chaos. They had 4 kids, I want to say, to take care of by this point. But Jayne refused to fade. She was building her empire. But fame is cruel master. And the higher she climbed, the more unstable the pedestal became. She went from being Hollywood's blonde bombshell to a walking punchline. Mariska Hargitay ended up divorcing her for multiple reasons, and her next relationships ended up being more chaotic. It's kind of sad. She married Matt Clymer and had a son with him. Her career had started to slow down. She took roles in, like, B movies and, like, some racy European films. She performed cheap burlesque shows. She turned towards the party culture to cope with the fading stardom, pretty much. Her personal life was crumbling. 3rd divorce, custody battles, money trouble, and tabloid humiliation. But what happens to her when she's at her version of rock bottom? Introduce Anton LaVey. If you do not know who Anton LaVey is, let me tell you. Anton is the founder of the Church of Satan. Yeah. He also found Jayne in 1966, so that's found the Church of Satan, found Jayne, you know? Now, Jayne never officially claimed to be a Satanist, but she loved the shock value that it gave. And this is a running theme in Hollywood, I want to say. I don't know, you'll see later on. You'll see what I'm talking about later on. I've got other videos, and it seems like all these celebrities go to the devil and then decide they don't want to be a part of that, and then they tell the public they're not, but Y'all just did all these rituals that I would not do. A lot of people would not do. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm getting on tangent. Anyways, so she loved the shock value of it. And then since she got attention from it, she started attending rituals. She posed in photos with skulls and serpents. Some people claim she was a high priestess, and some claimed it as publicity. Jayne didn't worship Satan. She flirted with him and he flirted back. Okay, but this is where it gets interesting, morbid. Some theories start coming in because during her third divorce, she's still friends with Anton LaVey. She starts dating Sam Brody. Sam Brody, this guy. I couldn't find many nice articles on him. Let's just say that, okay? He may have been Jayne's lover and lawyer, but everything online says he was an absolute monster in the shadows. So there's that. 2 weeks before Jayne Mansfield's death, Jane Marie, her firstborn daughter from Paul, she was then 16. She alleged that Sam Brody beat the ever-loving crap out of her, and her mom ended up encouraging it. Yeah. A juvenile court actually granted custody of her to her uncle. So, yeah. It's kind of sad. It's actually really sad. It's not kind of sad. It is sad. So, the story going around town about Sam Brody is that he's like a volatile douche, gets drunk, and he beats anything he wants, pretty much. Meat, women, children, you know? Well, there's a rumor that Anton LaVey, right? Listen, Anton LaVey and Sam Brody ended up clashing. Sam was jealous of the relationship that Anton and Jayne had built. So, I guess, rumor has it, allegedly, in a fit of rage, Sam is said to have destroyed some of Anton's ceremonial objects at his home. And this act is what caused Anton LaVey to put a curse on Sam Brody. Yeah, he put a curse on Sam Brody. Allegedly. Now, do I believe in curses? No, not really. But it's just, like, rude. Like, how dare you put a curse on someone? Rude. And Anton actually, like, told publications that Sam Brody was gonna die within the next year. And he was correct. June 29th, 1967, Jayne Mansfield was riding in a car with Sam, driver Ronnie, and 3 of her children. They were heading to New Orleans after performing at a nightclub in Mississippi. Around 2 a.m., they were coming around a turn. It's all hazy. Some say it was like a pesticide truck, and it was like like all the fumes were coming out of this pesticide truck. Some, I don't know. Some say it was just too foggy, blah, blah, blah. They didn't see him. He was driving at a slower rate than they were, and they just totally annihilated the top of their car. They hit the truck, and it just the top of their car off, pretty much. The truck was visually blocked from their view. The force that they hit the truck with completely ripped the top off of the Buick, smashing in the heads of Ronnie, Sam, and Jayne. The 3 children, they were fine. They survived. They were all passed out in the back, and they didn't know what happened. The 3 up front, not really, but you know what I mean. There's this big, like, misconception because Jayne was wearing a wig, and her wig flew off and went into, like, over there land. And everyone thought I'm not laughing. They took pictures, and so you see her wig on one side, and then they took, they took pictures, and you see the wig over here, and then they're still in the car, but she still has her head. It's just, like, impaled. It's not decapitated off. It was her wig that was off. Okay? Then that's when the whispers started happening about Anton and his little cursey curse. They said he had committed satanic revenge. Others say it was a tragic accident. There's an article from San Francisco State University that describes an interview done by KPIX TV with Anton LaVey. It has the film reference number, and LaVey states, "I don't feel there was a curse on Miss Mansfield as such, but there certainly was a curse on Mr. Brody." If you have a curse on you, I don't want you in my circle. Was it a curse? Bad luck? Or just another headline Jayne made sure to dominate? Now, I am gonna go on a little renty runt because I can. I don't know if you guys watched the Mariska Hargitay fucking documentary about her mom. I'm gonna try to stay nice. I don't know. When you don't tell a story right, it really bothers me. Like, honor that person. I don't know why. Just honor the person. They're good, they're bad, they're ugly. Just honor it. We're all fucked people. So it's like, who cares? I don't know. Let's get into this documentary she made. She's walking around the Pink Palace, and it's all crumbled and all this crap. And she's like touching shit, acting like she's sad. I'm sorry. You haven't lived there since you were 3. What does that house even mean to you? Like, the house was sold, as soon as Jayne died, the Pink Palace was sold to some buyer, and the buyer was very kind enough to pack up all the stuff, give it to them, and then they fucking took it and put it in storage, right? So they have all the stuff from the house. And he kept it, and then he sold it, and then the city bought it from him, and the city decided to demolish it. So she's walking around the fucking demolished playground, and she's like, I haven't been here since I was 3. I don't feel bad for you. I really don't. I don't know why you're even acting like that. So first off, that annoyed that annoyed me, right? I'm a psychopath. Anyways, then she proceeds to say, "I have always kept myself separate from my mother. I never wanted to be seen as a sex symbol." No one mistook you for one, okay? No one did. No one took you for one. I'm just gonna leave it at that, okay? If you continue to watch it and then you watch the car crash scene, she made the whole car crash about herself. The whole thing, not about her mom dying. In her own words, she's like, "I was knocked out. I had a head injury and I was under the fucking seat and they had to come back and pick me up and save me. And thank God for my bro." Oh my God, the whole thing's so cinematic. It's like, stop. And anyways, I need to calm down. So made Jayne's death all about her, which is insane to me because it's not your death. And like I said, she said she was knocked out and doesn't even remember the fucking thing. So it's like, why is your mom's death about you? I don't know. Let me know. This documentary hardly even touches on my favorite parts of Jayne. I love a wild person. Crazier you are and the more fun you're having in life, I am the first one to be your cheerleader. As long as you are not hurting anyone in the process, what is the big deal? Oh my gosh. So anyways, Mariska then apparently, when she's 25 years old, she goes and finds her real dad because Jayne cheated on Mickey Hargitay with some Italian dude while Mickey was filming a movie over in Italy. She has some affair with him and gets pregnant with Mariska. Now, get this. After filming the movie, they go back to Hollywood and Mickey knows this is not his child, right? Like, he knows Jayne had an affair, but he was so head over heels in love with Jayne, he did not care that was not his child. He accepted Mariska Hargitay as if she was her own. And I just learned this in the documentary, right? So this is all new information for, I think, most of us. Mickey, he's like, "Yep, I love this child. She's my child. I love her to death." There was a rumor when Mariska was first born that Mickey was not the father. And one of the reporters actually allegedly went up to Mickey and was like, hey, is this not your kid? And back in the day, there was like a understanding. So Mickey was like, hey, that's my daughter, end it, period. Don't talk about her, nothing. And the reporters back then just shut up about it, apparently. And they never mentioned it again. So all these people kept this, like, I'm not going to say all these people, I'm going to say a few people probably knew the secret, and they all kept it a secret. So then Mariska, at 25 years old, decides, oh, I'm going to go meet my real dad, which I understand, but she kept that from her family. And in the documentary, Mickey's widow, she would say that if you ever mentioned Mariska not being his, he would just end that conversation, no, she's mine, end period, we're moving on to the next topic, right? Like a freaking badass gentleman that he was. He was just a good guy. And what does she do? After he dies, and he's kept this secret to his dying breath almost, she turns around and makes a documentary and goes, this is my real dad. I'm sorry. What a slap to the face of Mickey Hargitay. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Let me know if I'm crazy. But your dad, who wasn't even your real dad, fought and loved you so hard your whole life. And then after he dies, you turn around, make a documentary, not even honoring your mom correctly, and then throwing your dad just totally under the bus. Are you kidding me? I bet Mickey's like rolling in his grave. I bet he's so disappointed. But like, Hollywood has no loyalty to anyone. So am I surprised? No, not really. It's just, I wouldn't do it. So I guess it's hard to fathom other people doing it. It just hurts my heart. Like, what a good, sorry, I'm going on a rant. Sorry, but he just seemed like a good guy. And that's why I say don't watch the new documentary on Jayne Mansfield, in my opinion, because it's shit. Mariska Hargitay hijacked her own mom's legacy and her dad's legacy and just made it all about herself and woe is me, and I didn't want to be a sex icon, so I separated myself and screw you, Mariska. Nobody wanted that. I don't know, I didn't want it. I thought I was watching some awesome documentary on Jayne Mansfield, and I get you. Now, you're probably like, why in the hell is Jayne Mansfield one of your favorite old Hollywood sex icons? Because she was beautifully crazy. That's why. I think we all love, or at least are intrigued by people and things that we wouldn't necessarily do ourselves. She was wild, but talented, glamorous, and silly. She lived her life exactly how she wanted to. And that is more than a lot of people are. She's living her life. Are you living your life, Was it the best life ever? I don't know. Depends on who you ask. I bet she had fun, though. A lot of fun. And isn't that what life is really about, honestly? I look at Jayne and something about her makes me smile on the inside. I look at Marilyn and something about her makes me feel sad on the inside. Not everyone's gonna be your cup of tea, and that's okay. But she was also an example of what happens when you strive for glory and power. Maybe if Jayne could have taken a step back to see the full picture, she wouldn't have chased a fantasy. Maybe the attention wouldn't have consumed her. They say she lost her head, and maybe in some ways they're correct. Long before that night on Highway 90. Jayne Mansfield didn't fade into obscurity. She exploded. And whether you remember her pink palace or the Satanist rituals or the crash site, she made damn sure you never forget her name. She definitely didn't have the IQ of 163. That's just for fun. But she also didn't take no for an answer. She set her eyes on goals and achieved them. I just personally think she wanted all the pink diamonds in the world. But pink diamonds come at a price. Let me know if you enjoyed the FBI Club tonight.